What if I told you there was a player in the NBA who was more accurate than Ray Allen, James Harden, and Steph Curry? A 6'7" point guard with handles like Chris Paul and court vision like Magic Johnson. The number 2 high school player in America, behind only Dwight Howard. Picked 4th overall in the 2004 NBA draft. Destined for superstardom. And then, everything changed in one horrific moment. This is the tragic story of Shaun Livingston. Shaun Livingston shot 1,390 mid-range shots throughout his entire NBA career. His shooting percentage from 10 to 16 feet, over 50%. Some seasons, 57%. That's more accurate than Steph Curry from three-point range. Let that sink in. But this story isn't about percentages. It's not about championships, though he won 3 of those. This is a story about what could have been, about a career that was nearly stolen, about a leg that almost had to be amputated, and about the most unlikely comeback in NBA history. Let's go back to where it all started. Peoria, Illinois, 2004. Shaun Livingston wasn't just good, he was generational. At 6 feet 7 inches, he could see over every defender. His handles were ridiculous. His court vision was unmatched. He didn't just play point guard, he redefined it. The number 1 point guard in his class, number 2 player overall, behind only the future Hall of Famer, Dwight Howard. Selected for the McDonald's All-American Game. Every major program wanted him. North Carolina, Illinois, Arizona, and Duke. He committed to Duke University to play for the legendary coach Mike Krzyzewski. But Shaun had a different vision. Why risk injury in college when you're already this good? The decision was made. Shaun Livingston would enter the 2004 NBA draft. And on draft night, the Los Angeles Clippers made him the 4th overall pick. Here's what NBADraft.net wrote about him before the draft. Give him 30 pounds, and NBA Commissioner David Stern would personally swim up to the Peoria River to personally grab this magician with a ball. His future Duke coach said this: "The main thing about Shaun was his ability to pass the ball. With his height, he was able to see things that a normal point guard couldn't see. The hype was real. The potential was limitless. And then reality hit." The Clippers had other plans for their young star. Instead of running the point, they moved him to shooting guard. He'd play alongside veteran Sam Cassell, learn from a champion, develop his game. His first season showed promise. 7.4 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds per game. But it was cut short. A dislocated right kneecap ended his rookie year early. Still, the Clippers believed. In year 2, Livingston continued to grow. 9.3 points and 5.1 assists per game. But more than the stats, you could see the potential. The Clippers made the playoffs and won a series against Carmelo Anthony's Denver Nuggets. They eventually fell to Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns, but Livingston's growth was undeniable. Longtime Clippers broadcaster Ralph Lawler said, "There was not a whole lot of great moments for that basketball team during that era. Having Shaun join the team gave you a reason to be excited to come into the gym each night. You could see him grow. You could see him work on his shot. You could see him getting stronger. And you thought this guy had a chance to really be special and be the type of player you could really build a franchise around." The 2006-07 season looked like the breakthrough. Livingston was playing with confidence, getting stronger, scoring more efficiently. Everything was coming together. And then, on February 26, 2007, everything fell apart. February 26, 2007, Clippers versus Charlotte Bobcats. Livingston drives to the basket, goes up for a layup, comes down awkwardly. His left knee buckles. The arena goes silent. What happened next was one of the most devastating injuries in NBA history. Livingston dislocated his left kneecap, tore his lateral meniscus, tore his ACL, tore his PCL, and severely sprained his MCL. Basically, he destroyed his entire knee. But it gets worse. If Clippers team doctor Steven Shimoyama hadn't quickly popped the knee back into place, there was a real possibility of gangrene setting in, or amputation. At the hospital, doctors said amputation could still be necessary if circulation through his knee wasn't healthy. Thankfully, the circulation was normal. Livingston's leg was saved. Sports writer J.A. Adande said it best. Watching Shaun Livingston blow out his left knee was the most heartbreaking scene since Bambi's mother got shot in the meadow. The player who was supposed to be the next Magic Johnson was now fighting just to walk again. For 16 months, Livingston disappeared from basketball. No games, no practices, just grueling rehabilitation. The physical pain was unbearable, but the mental torture was worse. Watching his peers develop while he could barely stand, wondering if he'd ever play again, wondering if the dream was over. Most people thought his career was finished, and honestly, it should have been. October 2008, the Miami Heat gave Livingston a chance. He played 4 games, then got waived. 4 games. That's all he got after 16 months of rehabilitation. But Shaun refused to give up. Over the next 6 years, he bounced between 8 different teams: Oklahoma City, Washington, Charlotte, Milwaukee, Cleveland, then back to Washington, and finally, Brooklyn. 8 teams in 6 years. Most players would have quit, but something changed during those years. Livingston couldn't be the explosive athlete he once was. His knee wouldn't allow it. So he adapted. He became a student of the game, worked on his basketball IQ, his court vision, and most importantly, his mid-range jumper. That turnaround shot from 15 feet, it became automatic. At 6 feet 7 inches, he could shoot over any guard in the league. The breakthrough came with the Brooklyn Nets in 2013. Livingston played 76 games, started 54 of them, averaged 8.3 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. But here's the crazy part. He shot 49.7% from the field. His mid-range game was becoming legendary. Livingston had transformed himself. He wasn't the explosive prospect anymore. He was something better, something more valuable. A reliable, efficient, intelligent player who could control the game without dominating the ball. And one team noticed. A team that was building a dynasty. In 2014, the Golden State Warriors signed Shaun Livingston to a 3-year, $16 million contract. It raised eyebrows around the league. The Warriors were becoming known for three-point shooting, and they just signed a guy who'd only attempted 13 threes in his entire career. But head coach Steve Kerr saw something others missed, a perfect complement to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. While the Splash Brothers rained threes, Livingston's mid-range game kept defenses honest. His height let him post up smaller guards, create mismatches, control the pace. In his first season, the Warriors won the 2015 NBA championship. Livingston played a crucial role, appearing in every single game. But his defining moment came the next year. Game 1 of the 2016 NBA Finals. Steph Curry was struggling. The Warriors needed someone to step up. Shaun Livingston scored 20 points on 8 of 10 shooting. He led Golden State to a crucial victory over LeBron's Cavaliers. It was the ultimate redemption. The player who almost lost his leg was now delivering in the NBA Finals. Over the next 5 seasons, Livingston helped the Warriors reach 5 straight finals. They won 3 championships. His efficiency from mid-range became legendary. In the 2018-19 season, Livingston shot an astounding 57.1% from 10 to 16 feet. Think about that. 57% from mid-range. That's more accurate than Steph Curry from three-point range. Throughout his career, Livingston made 1,390 mid-range shots at over 50% accuracy. In an era dominated by threes and layups, he proved there was still room for the mid-range master. But his impact went beyond stats. His basketball IQ, his veteran presence, his mentorship to younger players. He became the glue guy, the steadying force, the player every championship team needs. In September 2019, after 15 seasons in the NBA, Shaun Livingston announced his retirement. The Warriors didn't let him go far. In 2020, they brought him back as Director of Player Affairs and Engagement. Basketball remained a huge part of his life, just in a different role. So what's Shaun Livingston's legacy? It's complicated. On one hand, we have to acknowledge what could have been. The number 2 pick in his class, the 6'7" point guard with Magic Johnson potential. Scouts believed he could have been a perennial all-star, maybe even an MVP candidate. But that player never got the chance to exist. On the other hand, what Shaun did accomplish is remarkable. A career that should have ended at 21 lasted until he was 34. He played 833 games, won 3 NBA championships, became one of the most efficient mid-range shooters in modern NBA history. He proved that there's more than one path to success, that adapting and surviving can be just as impressive as dominating. His mid-range game, more accurate than Curry from 3. That's not hyperbole. That's fact. But here's the real story. Shaun Livingston almost lost his leg. Doctors considered amputation. And just a few years later, he was scoring 20 points in the NBA Finals. That's not tragic. That's miraculous. Shaun Livingston's career is a reminder that sports stories don't always have fairy tale endings. Sometimes the hero doesn't reach his full potential. Sometimes injuries change everything. But sometimes the greatest triumph isn't becoming a superstar. It's surviving when everyone expects you to fail. Livingston turned the worst injury in NBA history into a 15-year career and 3 championships. He became a mid-range assassin in an era that forgot about mid-range shots. He proved that intelligence, adaptability, and pure determination can overcome almost anything. So here's my question for you. Is Shaun Livingston the greatest mid-range shooter ever? More accurate than Steph from 3? More reliable than almost anyone from 15 feet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe for more NBA deep dives. Because basketball isn't just about championships and stats. It's about stories like this. Stories of resilience, of comeback, of refusing to let tragedy define you. Rest in peace to what could have been, but respect to what actually was. Shaun Livingston, a true warrior.